everyone. My name is Chloe, and today I'm here to do my book haul revisit for February of 2021. So what I'm doing is I'm going back 3 years on my channel because luckily I have done an in and out video almost every month in the past 3 or 4 years. And so I'm going back 3 years on my channel to see what I hauled in February of 2021 and to see, have I actually read the books that I hauled, or are they still sitting on my shelf? And I love this series so much because, one, it's fun to like look back and remember. Two, it's helping me get books off my shelf that I may have, well, obviously may not have picked up because they've been sitting there for 3 years. And it's just reminding me what's on my shelf and kind of a good, fun look back. So as always, I'm going to have this little read, unread, and unread without, or unhauled without reading. Somebody put their coffee on my little whiteboard, so there's a fun new ring. But so I'm going to hold this up. I might try to hold it up here a little bit so you can see this and the screen. These have been a doozy to edit, and so we're just going to see. So as I did last month, I'm going to put myself on 2 times speed because it's like an 11-minute video, and so just so you don't have to watch all of it again, I will have it linked down below if you want to go watch all of it, but we're just going to kind of expedite it and make it quick so we can see what the books are and just go from there. So hang on tight and I will get it started.
The first one is Your Wife by Kimberly Belle.
Read it.
I don't know much about this except it's a novel of suspense. Some vows are meant to be broken. I think it's about a woman who is plotting to leave her husband, and then a husband who comes home and his wife is gone, but they're supposedly 2 different people. I don't know. Kimberly Belle has been kind of hit and miss for me, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna love this. It's also kind of a thinner mass market, like it's a thinner trade paperback or a larger mass market. I don't know what the words for these are, but not my favorite. But I'm glad I have this and can give it a shot because if I don't like this, I might just say Kimberly Belle is not for me. But this will be a good test. We've got The Night Olivia Fell. And
read it, loved it.
And it says an emotionally charged mystery. I don't know if this one is necessarily like a thriller, but this is about a woman who gets a call that her daughter has fallen off a bridge and she's pregnant and brain dead, but they have to keep her alive for the sake of the baby. So sounds really stressful. What's going on? Was she pushed? Was it intentional? I don't know. Next is Someone We Know by Shari Lapena, and I love Shari.
Read it.
And so this one is about a boy, I think, who's like sneaking around to neighbors' houses and breaking in and stuff. I don't really know a whole lot more than that, but the cover is very, very creepy. Next is The Last Flight by Julie Clark, and I'm so
read
excited.
it. Did not like it.
Meet in the airport and then decide to like swap identities, and one takes the other's flight and vice versa. And I think one of the planes crash. I don't know that for sure, but this one I've just like really been anticipating. Next is You Are Not Alone by Greer, Hendricks, and
read
Sandie.
it.
I think this is about sisters maybe, but I read one book by this author duo and I didn't love it, The Wife Between Us. So we'll see if I like this one better. I've kind of heard people typically like one or the other, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited to try it. I am trying to go into this with as little expectations as possible. Next is No Exit by Taylor Adams.
Yep,
I have heard so many good things about this, and every time somebody talks about it, I comment, I need to read this. And I've heard a couple of negative things since I've been commenting that. This is about a snowy road, and somebody is stopped at a rest stop because it's so snowy and that kind of stuff, and they see a child locked in a car. So they're trying to figure out who in this rest stop has a child locked in the car. I've heard it's very fast moving, very suspenseful, and I am very excited to hear like what my thoughts are on it. Next is The Other Misses by Mary Kubica, and I like Mary Kubica a lot, and so I don't know a whole lot about this except I think a couple moves into a new neighborhood and their neighbor is found dead, maybe. So we'll see. Next is A Good Marriage by Kimberly McCreight.
Read it.
And I really don't know anything about this except that I've heard a lot about it. I think it's about a woman who like she's a lawyer and her old friend or something calls and is like, hey, I am on trial for killing my wife. Will you help me? I think that's what this is about. So sounds interesting. Next is The First Mistake by Sandie Jones. And now I'm in the minority in the fact that I really liked The Other Woman by Sandie Jones. So this one is about the wife, her husband, and her best friend. The first mistake could be her last. So I'm excited. Next is For Better and Worse by Margo.
Read
and
it.
This one
Loved
is about
it.
a couple who, like when they're first dating, they decide like, hey, how do you think we would be able to get away with murder? And so now I think years later, maybe something they're trying to do it. I don't know. I've heard mixed things about this. I've heard the wife is definitely more sinister. I don't know if that's true, but I'm excited. Next is Pretty Little Wife by Darby Kane.
Read
this
it.
is another one that I've heard very divisive things about. Like all of these thrillers I've heard a lot about and kind of hit and miss. And so I'm really excited to see what my thoughts are. If there's more than one way to end a marriage, that's all I want to know about this, and we'll see what I think. Next is The Guest List by Lucy Foley, and I will for sure be reading this in March because this is for the Irish Readathon. So this is about a group of people that go to this island off the coast of Ireland for a wedding, and then people start dying. And so I've never read any Lucy Foley, and I want to read this, and it is definitely happening in March. The last thriller that I bought myself was Cross Your Heart by Sarah Pinborough. I'm a little nervous about this. I think it's a mother-daughter situation and maybe also a best friend. Don't know any more than that. And I'm hoping to try this as this week, actually, for the Backlist Readathon as a Backlist Book of the Month. Then other books that I bought myself off of Facebook Marketplace are The One and Only Ivan by Kristin or Katherine.
Have not read
This
that.
is a middle grade book about a gorilla, and I just think they're so cute on there. So I heard a lot of great things about this last year or the year before when it was new, so I'm excited to see what I think. I don't know if I'll get to it for middle grade March, hopefully, but we'll see. I think this is also a movie now, maybe. Then we have Happiness for Beginners by Katherine. I think this is the only Katherine I didn't own, so I'm really excited to read this. Brene Brown blurbs it on the front, and she is like a nonfiction kind of self-help author, and she said this wise, delicious, page-turning novel won't let you go. Katherine writes about falling down, growing up, and finding love like nobody else, and I agree. She does it great. Next is The Lost Roses by Martha Hall Kelly.
Read it.
Guys, I'm intimidated about this one because I really liked The Lilac Girls, but it was a long book, and this one is no different. This one is very heavy, and I don't know, I think it's a generation before, maybe, so maybe this is World War I. I don't know for sure, but I picked it up because I really liked Lilac Girls, so we'll see what she's got. Then I have Happy and You Know It by Laura Hankin. This one is about a girl who decides to like take this job as a music teacher or whatever for a bunch of housewives and their kids, and it's just about like suburbia and motherhood, and this sounds like right up my alley. Next is Ghosted by Rosie Walsh, and this is about a girl who starts dating this guy and then he disappears, so what happened to him? I don't know. I just think this cover is so fun. I really like it. It's a tree with a lot of dots. I wonder if it means anything. It says 7 perfect days, then he disappeared. A love story with a secret at its heart. So what's the secret? I don't know. So that's it for the Facebook Marketplace. And then I got my first book of the month ever order this month. I skipped January and then got 2 in February. So I got Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. And this is about a girl who goes to Vegas and wakes up married. And that's totally not her normal thing. She's married to, like, wakes up, I think, next to this woman, and she's married. And so she's trying to figure out what the heck happened. I have heard that this is kind of more of like a women's fiction, literary fiction than a romance. And you guys know, like, that's not a negative thing to me. I'm really excited about that. So I want to see what all that is. The next one that I got, you'll be shocked, it is The Four Winds by Kristin. So I love Kristin Hannah. If you didn't see, I did a vlog reading her oldest 3 books, and they definitely were different and all like kind of historical. I'm glad she has grown a lot since then. It was the early 90s, and she just seems to keep getting better and better. And this one is about the Great Depression, and this like wheat cover and stuff feels very like home to me. So we'll see what I think of this. It's also kind of thick, but I plan to read this soon. I know that there is a historical fiction book club that is just starting, and this is going to be the April read, so maybe I'll try to read it for that. 5 more. So next I have one that I received from the publisher. So I have When We Were Young by Jaclyn Goldis. And this one was sent to me by Forever, so thank you to them. This is a World War II story, but it's about 3 different timelines. So it's in Corfu in 1942, in Corfu in 2004, and then in Florida in 2019. So I love multiple timelines and multiple perspectives. I love World War II stories. I don't think they'll ever be overdone for me, so I'm excited for this one. Next is The Chain by Adrian McKinty. And this one was so sweetly sent to me by Izzy from Happy For Now. She sent this as a congratulations for hitting 1,000 subscribers, and I can't wait to read this. So this is about a chain letter, basically, where somebody like kidnaps your kid, and then you have to do something to somebody else's kid in order to get your kid back. And I just like the concept terrifies me, but in the best way. Then the last 3 are all ones that my mother has given me. It is The Endless Beach by Jenny Colgan, and I don't really know anything about this. It's number 2 in a series, so I haven't read it yet. But Jenny Colgan, I generally like her. There's definitely some hits and some misses in there, but she writes pretty cute, just kind of rom-com romance. So we'll see. And then last is Oona Out of Order by Margarita Montimore. And you guys know I read this and really like it.
Okay, so that looks good. I can take it. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 22 that I've read and 2 that are unread. So that's great. I might have actually unhauled The Lost Roses. Like, I think I DNF'd it. I can't remember. That's the only one I can't remember for sure. Like, I know I attempted it, and I don't think I have it on my shelves anymore. But, so we've got The One and Only Ivan and The Endless Beach by Jenny Colgan, which, like I said in that video, it is the second in a series. So I'll read the first in the series, and then if I want to read the second, I will read the second. But yeah, so just like with every other month, I will vlog me reading these 2 books, and I will stick it onto the end of this video. So we will... we'll see what I think. The One and Only Ivan, like I don't often talk about the middle grade books that I haul, especially not anymore, just because I'm hauling them quite quick. Like when I haul them, my kids take them quite quickly and they get dispersed to wherever. And so they're not as organized as my actual books are, like my books are. But I will... I mean, I know I still have The One and Only Ivan. I still really want to read it. I haven't read it yet. So, yeah, I will give that a read. Not little middle grade March. So I'll check in and let you know when I've read one of these. Hey everyone, so I have started the first book for this, and so I am reading The Cafe by the Sea, which is the first in the Mirror series, I guess, by Jenny Colgan. So the one I own is Endless Beach. This is number 1, and I think it does follow the same character, so I needed to read this one first. And I am maybe 75% of the way through already, and I'm enjoying it. So Jenny Colgan and I have kind of a hit and miss relationship. We don't always get along, and the reason why is because her books are very slow. So the point of this book, or like the whole plot of this book, is that this girl is a paralegal in London. She has left her family farm in Scotland to be this paralegal, city girl, all that kind of stuff, much to the chagrin of her family. Her mother died, and so her dad and brothers are still running the farm, and there's some bitterness there. But so she is this paralegal in New York, or in London, I mean. And a client says, hey, so I bought this land in Scotland and they were trying to make a windmill farm, like right next to it. And I don't want that to happen. And so he's like, I need somebody who knows the land, knows the community, all that kind of stuff. So he hires her and says, like, go back to Scotland, figure out, talk to who's who to make sure this doesn't happen. And so she goes back planning to be there for a week. And, he goes too, and of course there's like a snowstorm and all that kind of stuff, so they get trapped. But they are trying to basically endear him to the community because he has this big property and never frequents the local anything. He brings in all of his own staff. He brings everything he needs, and so he just kind of holds himself up. Doesn't know anybody in the community. Doesn't use any of the community, and so they're like, okay, this has got to be a PR thing to make you. To make people like you and know you. And so they that's kind of the point. And so they open a cafe and yeah, just because one of the community's biggest gripes is that he's got this building that he's not using, and so it's just kind of an eyesore. So our main character, I can't even remember her name, but Flora and her family open up a cafe there, and it's all with the attempt to kind of endear him to the community. And there's a romance. Of course, she's always had a crush on her boss, and now that he's snowed in and trapped and whatever, there's some romance stuff going on, but really there's not much going on plot wise. She's got 2 or 3 brothers, I'm not exactly sure. So there's some stuff with her brothers going on, but it's just really a slow character study. And generally, I like these books better when I read them physically and can just kind of spend a really long time getting to know this character. But I'm not, like, right now I'm reading a lot of middle grade and stuff in preparation, I guess, for middle grade March and just other things. So I'm not really wanting to read this physically. So I'm listening on audio and I'm liking it. Just some of the side tangents kind of lose me. So, yeah, that's the story there. It's so far, it's fine. It's good enough that I will continue to read my copy. But I don't know that it's one that I'm going to own. Like, I don't know that I'll keep it on my shelves after I read it because, like with series, if you're not going to own the whole series, what's the point in having number 2? So yeah, I don't know if I'll end up keeping it or not, but we'll see. So I'll let you know when I finish this and start the next one. So here is the real life vlog style. I just took an epic nap with the kids because I have been waking up, like, I kid you not, every hour at night for some reason. I don't know. But so I finished this book though because I woke up before the kids did. And so this one, I think I misspoke earlier when I was talking about it because so this like famous client guy has this land in Scotland and she's a paralegal, so a lawyer has to go with her, and it's her boss that she's got the crush on and her boss that goes and her boss that she has a romance with, not the client. So I think I don't think I was clear about that, or I maybe even misspoke about that. So that's what happened. This book is really slow and very Jenny Colgan-esque. You know, if you like her humor, you would probably like this book. If you like kind of the full family saga of just kind of following a bunch of characters with not a lot of plot, you might like this one. And I'm going to start the next one. I read the synopsis of the next one, and it does follow the same character and what happens next. So I guess there's not going to be that much fun to update you guys because without reading this, I can't tell you much about the next one. But I'm going to try it. I am definitely going to end up unhauling it afterwards because I think this was maybe 3 stars. So I'm guessing the next one will be 2. I've heard the next one is a little more women's fiction-y, where she's kind of tackling some demons and some things from her past maybe. But this one, yeah. And this one even I would say it's probably more women's fiction than romance because it's about her. I mean, it is about her and her what is this about? Like, this is why I don't really like this book, is because there's really no plot. Is it about the romance? Is it about her going home? I would say it's arguably more about her going home than the romance. So I don't know. I mean, there is a romance. This book really, really toes the line. So if that's a good thing for you, great. If it's not, great. Yeah. So there is that. This morning we had basketball. It's Saturday, so my daughter always has basketball, and it was the last game of the season, and they are 6th season district champs, and so they got these trophies and stuff, and it was so fun. They're a little team. There's a handful of them that have been coming back season after season, and so we're doing it again in March or April. The same kids are coming back together, so we'll see if we can make 7 seasons, and which is crazy because they're 6-year-olds, so we're talking a while, but anyway, so it's been a fun day, and now we're going to do a handful of things, and then maybe some family game night with some Monopoly Junior, so going to be a rager tonight, and yeah, that's it. So I'll check in after I finish the next one. I'm probably going to, like, kind of listen to it on accelerated speed because they're so slow that, like, not going to miss much for plot, so yeah, might just do that. I don't really know. But anyway, talk to you later. I'll let you know what I think. Hey everyone, I'm just here for a super quick update because today it's Monday, it's President's Day, and we have nothing going on. So we went to Whole Foods and Trader Joe's to get 2 specific things, and they didn't have either. So now we went to a library branch that we don't normally go to, and but I finished the Endless Beach, and it was really dark, like really a lot heavier than the first book, and I can't really say anything about it because it just follows the first book exactly where it ended, but definitely some heavy topics and not what I expected. Definitely still the same kind of no like huge plot, but definitely character study. So if you like her and you like those kind of books, and if you like the first one, I think the second one was better-ish but heavier, a lot heavier. then, so the only thing left is the one and only Ivan. And it's, the library has it on audio, but I have it physically, and I'm going to read it that way because it's just like short, kind of like the diary of a big gorilla named, Ivan. So I will let you know what I think of that one when it's done. Hey everyone, it is the perfect spring day. It's like a gentle breeze, bright sun, just all the wonderful things. It's like 60 something degrees, beautiful. However, I've been struck with the spring cold, this winter cold, whatever, I don't know. My husband, we were sick in January, and my husband like got sick forever. He had this cough forever, and then he was fine for like a couple weeks, and then the cough came back like 5 days ago, and so he was hacking, had a rough handful of days, and we're like, okay, cool, the rest of us skirted it somehow. Well, last night I started sneezing, and now today I've got a little fever, just can't stop sneezing. My head, my ears, my nose, it all just hurts. So I'm gonna make this quick, but I finished the one and only Ivan. I took the dust jacket off, and I really like this book. So this is told from the perspective of a gorilla, and he's living in like a circus with an elephant and a dog, but he's in a cage by himself, and it's just kind of his musings. And one of the caretaker's daughters, her name is Julia. She's an artist, and he like gets crayons and he makes art, and he thinks he's drawing these things that nobody can really tell what they are, but they sell them, and all that. The circus is kind of failing, and so we get his musings about things, and I'm not gonna lie, I laughed and teared up at multiple points throughout this book, and I just really enjoyed it. Even though the writing style is not something I enjoyed, it's like it's not verse, but they're like just kind of short random musings, but as if it's from a gorilla. I mean, because it is. So they are not very detailed. We have to read in between the lines. We don't get the full picture of everything. And so like my reading, like my enjoyment of this writing style is not the best, but I mean, it's very appropriate. Like I would say this is 4 stars, but like 5-star execution. And so really enjoyed this book. Like I said, felt the full range of emotions, read it really quick, and will definitely recommend. And it's based on a true story, based on an actual gorilla that lives in the Atlanta Zoo now. And I really want to like know more about it, and it definitely like reinvigorated kind of I don't know, just the animals in captivity is just so hard and so unkind in some situations, and yeah, it's a lot. So I really enjoyed this book. So I'm really glad I got 2 books off my shelf, one DNF and one that I'm keeping. And yeah, overall successful month. So I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.